Hi, I'm John Hart, and I want to share with you today a very fun story from back when I was a teenager, college student, living in Southern California, just transplanted here from New York. And the fun part about this story is that at the time I had been starstruck training at Gold's Gym in Venice and training at World Gym at the time that was in Venice on Abbot Kinney. And I'd see all the superstars of our sport, bodybuilding and powerlifting on a regular basis. They'd come on in and work out. And so on this one occasion, I used to go in at between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the early afternoon when I would be done with my college classes at Santa Monica College. And I would go into World Gym, meet my training partner, and we'd work out. This one day, I showed up very early, and apparently Lee Haney had been shooting some video or working out that day, either way. But when I walked into World Gym, and for anybody who understands or remembers or knows, World Gym in Venice at the time was Joe Gold's flagship, massive creation of a building and a gym, and it was beautiful. And it was also empty at certain times of day. And so at that time, between 1 and 3, it was really empty. So I walk in and Lee Haney, boom, is right there on one of the life cycles. It's a seated bike, an upright life cycle. And he's just riding the bike and he's looking right at me when I walk in. There's nobody else in the gym at the time, 0 people in there. And so I walk on in and man, seeing that it was Lee Haney, I do a beeline straight for him. I go and I stand right next to him, I shake his hand, I introduce myself to him, and I'm thinking, hey, this is great. I'm going to fire off a bunch of questions to the best bodybuilder in the world, right? What an opportunity. And so the thing about it was he's such a champion, he's such a humble champion, that from the moment I walked up to him and introduced myself, this man did not let me fire off one single question. He asked me questions about me the entire time. I mean, this was like such a lesson in how to be a champion, because we're so often caught up today in noticing and seeing all of our champions in whatever sport, whether we're talking about bodybuilding or football or baseball or basketball, soccer, international, women's soccer. We have the best, women's team in the entire world. And when you go and you get that microphone in front of them, or when you meet them personally, outside of their element, not on the field, how do they all act? How do they interact with you? Is there a lot of I, me involved? Is there a little bit of an offstandishness, which that can be explained? A lot of people who are celebrities in our world experience some really weird situations. So can't blame them 100% for that one. But once they see that you're harmless and you're just excited about meeting them, I would assume that most of them get it together and have an easier time talking if they have a minute with you. So seeing how this champion, Lee Haney, spoke, seeing how he was engaging, seeing how he was truly interested in everything that I had to say and everything about my life at the time. Talk about impressionable. It impressed me so much that it made it so much easier for me personally, as I've had some successes in my walk in bodybuilding and natural bodybuilding, winning the Mr. America, winning the Natural Mr. Universe. I meet people in public all the time. And when I do get to meet them, when I do get to talk to them, when I do have a speaking engagement, it's so easy. When I'm signing pictures, I've done that multiple times after doing a speaking engagement. I have a stack of pictures. I sign them to all the kids. I give them away, to even the adults. And when I'm doing that, it's possibly the best time that I have in doing that entire engagement, or that performance, you could say, for that day, is that I get to interact with the people and ask them questions. I always took Lee Haney's example as the example. This man is not just a champion, the greatest of all time, an 8-time Mr. Olympia, first one to break Arnold's record, first time to get to 8 Mr. Olympias, but he's a hardcore Christian man. He's somebody that I look up to. Every time you see him out there on social media, all you hear the man doing is quoting scripture, quoting the Bible, letting people know that he loves them. And so you could say this is sort of a shout out to Lee Haney and a public acknowledgement that he's affected at least one person's perspective in being out there in the public. I'm in the public eye. How do I interact with people? How do I engage with people? How do I come off looking with people? So he helped so much without knowing it that I'd just like to say thank you, Lee Haney. Thank you, champ. You're the greatest. And that's it. From my heart to you, John Hart, thought I'd share that fun story with you today. Hey, before you go, off to your right, you're going to see this circle floating by my head right now. That's going to be the subscribe button for my channel. If you want to get alerts, notifications that I have a new video pop up, just tap that thing right there. And down, off to your left, there's going to be a thumbs up button. Please tap that and make it turn blue. It helps the channel out a lot. That's it. Thank you. Look forward to next time.